Welcome back to The Link. We are delighted to welcome again to the set of The Link, Lou Grainer, Executive Director, Coweta Samaritan Clinic. Lou, welcome back to The Link.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Good to be here.
Lou, the Coweta Samaritan Clinic, what a great story in this community. Help us again recall the start of the clinic.
Sure.
How long have we been in operation?
It will be 6 years at the end of this month, which
Wow.
is hard for a lot of us to believe. But in the 2009-10 timeframe, Dr. Kay Crosby, the founder of the clinic, who had spent 20 years in internal medicine at PAP Clinic, felt a calling to provide care to those folks in our community that would not otherwise have access to care. And for a couple years, a small group of volunteers met around the kitchen at Kay's house and began to plan what has become the Samaritan Clinic. Saw our first patient on October 5th, I believe it was, in 2011. So again, we'll soon be celebrating 6 years and are growing and expanding not only the volume but the scope of our services.
Remind us again, the clinic is a free clinic?
Correct.
Yeah.
We've had just under 15,000 patient visits in the first 6 years. All have been free of charge to the patients. And that is made possible through the generosity of the community that manifests in a number of ways. Volunteers like Kay and other physicians who come and give their time without charge at the clinic. Many specialists in the community who see patients on a referral basis without charge. The generosity of the community that does fund about a $700,000 annual cash operating budget. So we recognize and are grateful for the fact that this is one generous community here in Newnan, and we're just lucky to be here.
So we're serving Cowetans in need.
Correct. The criteria to be a patient at the clinic is that you have to be resident of Coweta County, ages 19 or older. Reason for that is the CHIP program pretty well covers 18 and under. And then you have to have household income at or below 200% of the federal poverty level, and of course be uninsured.
So Lou, give us an update. What's going on at the clinic? Who are we seeing? What are we seeing in these patients who come?
Well, the board updated the strategic plan for the clinic last year, and as part of that, we recognize that there are about 20,000 adults in Coweta County who are uninsured, but surprisingly, only about half that total, Mark, qualify to be seen at the clinic. We assumed it was probably all of them, but still you're looking at 10,000 people that don't have insurance and would qualify for services at the clinic. We've seen about 1,300 unique individuals, so we feel like we've tapped about 15% of the need or touched 15% of the need. So most all of our patients have put off medical and dental care for years because they're challenged with other issues, more fundamental financial issues. So they often are very sick when they come to the clinic. We have found that for each new patient we see, we probably end up with anywhere from 4 to 6 follow-up visits with that patient within the first year, just because the need for ongoing care and attention for managing medications and things, it takes a few visits to get that right. Most of our patients have one or more chronic diseases, so you're talking about high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, breathing disorders, a lot of depression. Obesity, unfortunately, is prevalent and contributes to all of those. So we're basically trying to diagnose, treat, and help patients manage on an ongoing basis those chronic diseases.
Lou, you've done great work with providers of medicines. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, where possible, we try and get prescriptions filled for our patients in the free and $4 programs in the grocery stores and drug stores. But often the best medicines, or the only really effective medicines, are branded medications. And of course, the diabetics, many of them need insulin. All of that becomes very, very expensive. But thankfully, the drug companies typically have what they call patient assistance programs. And for patients like ours that have economic challenges, the drug companies will make their branded medications available to us. We have a part-time employee, Laura Thomas, who works with a group of about 4 to 6 volunteers to manage our patient assistance program. We've helped about 320 of our patients sign up for and secure expensive branded medications in any one year. To their credit, the drug companies are making the drugs available, but boy, they have fairly onerous applications, and a lot of times the patients we serve just wouldn't be able to complete the applications, provide all the documentation that's required, but with help from our staff, they're able to do it. And last year, the average wholesale value that we estimate came through the clinic inpatient assistance program drugs was just under $2 million. So.
$2 million. Lou, we're gonna end this first segment on that note, but $2 million in assistance through medications provided free of charge.
Absolutely.
Lou Grainer, stay with us. We're going to be back for another segment to talk about the Coweta Samaritan Clinic. Thanks for watching The Link.